Thank you again for joining us. We're continuing our discussion with Andrew Watkins, the Senior Major Gift Officer for the College of Education and Florida State University. And now I'd like to talk about kind of the restrictions or limitations on the funds and the use of the funds. In general, you've mentioned how there's the money you'd like to keep it in the endowment and continued, forever. So, how are those decisions made? Let's say that I have, for example, I have $1,000, and I come to you and I say, I want to give you $1,000. What kind of control do I have in how that money is spent?
Okay. We'll go back to that model of the operating money and the endowment money. And with what they both have in common is that as the donor, you get to direct where the money is going to go. And to an extent, how it's going to be used. The difference is that the operating money is going to be used today. In the short term, this is spendable cash. It can be used for immediate purposes, whereas the endowment is going to be around for a long, long time. It's going to be used a little bit every year and hopefully growing. So, there's immediate need versus the long-term stability of the value of the fund. So when somebody makes a gift of, say, $1,000, the first level of control they have is in defining where it's going to go. Is it going to go to the university's greatest need? And there's literally a fund, university's greatest need, and typically the president has the discretion to say, the university's greatest need this year is graduate fellows, or this year we're going to start. The university's greatest need is where a lot of programs like Black History Month programs that came out of president's offices, they had the discretionary money. And so that's where a lot of those programs got started. It was president's discretionary money. Their University of Greatest Needs is one of the sources that funds a lot of programs like the Premier Scholars Program at any university. Go to your favorite institution and take a look for scholars programs. And that was probably something that was started by that kind of discretionary income. But as the donor, you can leave it up to the president to make those sorts of decisions, or you can make some decisions. For example, you can say that you want it to go to the College of Education, and the College of Education's greatest need. Well, then the dean is going to be in a position to do the same sort of thing. And in our College of Education, the dean has used her unrestricted revenue to support a variety of different programs. She supports travel grants. She likes her students to be in conferences and presenting. She has supported research startup. She supported research colloquialism, colloquia, symposium. That's the same. That's what I mean. So you can then designate, the university level or the smaller, the college level, or even at the programmatic level. And so you can decide that you want the money to be used for the discretionary purpose of biology or theater, and they'll put the money towards whatever is their greatest need. Well, in addition to that, you can follow some other routes and say scholarships, and it could go into a general student scholarship. You want to support a student who's becoming a teacher. Well, the School of Teacher Education has got a general scholarship fund. Or if you want to support somebody who's in the higher ed program, we have a general scholarship fund at the college level that can support students in those programs. Or you can do professorships and support faculty research. Or you really have a lot of options to sort of define for yourself what it is that you want your money to narrow in and serve. What you cannot do is create a stipulation that defines who the money will benefit. The IRS doesn't like that. They don't think that's very charitable. So you can't give me and the College of Ed $1 million on the predicated notion that we're going to hire Dr. Stone to be that professor. It doesn't work like that. You can give us $1 million to put together a professorship and then we'll figure out who we're going to go hire to be a part of that professorship. Does that answer that question? Did I?
Very well, very
Okay.
well. Yeah. And I kind of answered the next one too, but I'd just like to clarify, would there be any changes in if the amount were bigger? Let's say I wanted to give $100,000. Would there be any changes between giving $1,000 gift or $100,000 gift?
Yes. $25,000 is the level at which we will create an individual endowed account for a fund. So until the money hits $25,000, it's going to be used for operational purposes. But if a donor tells us that the gift will be $25,000 or more and that they want it endowed, then we'll allow payments. Hey, look, we're easy. You want to put it on Sky Miles, we'll take it. You want to send us stocks, real estate, art, we can figure these things out. But once the gift is $25,000 or more, it becomes endowable. And once it is endowed, then we have a lot of opportunities for it to grow forever. Once it hits $100,000, then it becomes eligible for the state matching gift program, unless it's for athletics. Athletics get no matching gift monies. And so the larger the gift gets, really the more we can leverage it to do more things with the state, and of course the bigger its impact is going to be.
Okay. And as a kind of a cheat question, how do I get a statue or put a name or something like that? There's bricks around the stadium with people's names on them. How do you go about? Do you make a donation during a certain time? Or?
If you like those bricks, get on FSU's website and type brick campaign, and you'll get the one up at Westcott. You can do one up at Westcott. You'll get the one out at the football stadium. I think we've got another one going on somewhere. Not entirely
Maybe
sure
Legacy
about.
Walk or something.
But Legacy Walk might be it. But you pay your $250 or $100 or $1,000 and tell them what to inscribe on your brick, and they'll send you a thank you letter, and they'll send you a map that tells you exactly where your brick is going to be.
Cool.
So you can lend yourself to the history of your fine alma mater for all time, or at least until the bricks get torn up.
And in general, we haven't really talked about this, but what are your duties to donors after they've made their contributions?
That's called stewardship, and it's exactly what you think it is. Stewardship is a meaningful, interactive process by which we let the donors know the value of their contribution to the institution. And in some cases, stewardship is a very short process. For somebody who gives us $100, we'll send them a letter of thanks. They'll get a receipt from the foundation showing a charitable contribution. They'll get a thank you letter from, might have the president's signature or stamp on that. President Weatherall can attest to whether he signed tens of thousands of these things over the course of the academic year. And then at the college level, you get a note with the dean's signature on it. It's not her real signature, but the idea is that we're saying thank you and acknowledging that you made this gift and letting you know that it's important to us. The bigger the gifting becomes, the more individualized the stewardship or the interaction becomes. Right on to the point where we have people who are supporting a variety of different scholarships within the college, and so we invite them to campus to have a meal and meet the students that they're supporting. We are working with some people who have endowed a professorship, and we just hired a new faculty member to hold that professor. Well, we're going to build a relationship between that professor and those donors so that the professor can let the donors know not only what is happening in the academic department, but what that professor's role is and what kind of research they're conducting, so that they can see a direct link between what they have given and productivity from the institution. Some of it, we've got donors that want a financial accounting report every quarter, and we've got donors who want to hear from us once a year about the financial accounting procedures, and we'll give an eye, tooth, and maybe some more money if we'll invite them to sit in the president's box for a football game. We've got folks who could care less about that, but when Willie Nelson comes to be a part of the 7 days of opening nights, they'd sure like it if we could help them get some seats. And they pay for all their tickets, but sometimes because we own the auditorium or the stadium or whatever it is, we have the opportunity to help them experience something kind of neat at FSU. Now, Dean Driscoll, she has got a pretty neat stewardship plan. When somebody makes $1 million gift to the College of Education, we invite them to the President's Box, and then we surprise them. While they're up in the President's Box, we grab them and say, come on, we got something fun that we're going to do. And we sneak them down. It's not sneaking, but they feel like it is. We sneak them down onto the football field, and we get their picture taken with the Dean and Osceola and Renegade. And then we let them stand down there for 10 or 15 minutes and see how big the football players are and hear how loud the PA system is and to look around in wonderment and usually make cell phone calls to their kids and go, ha ha, guess where I am? Look for me on TV. That sort of thing. And we've done that a few times. In every instance, we surprise the donors, and they've absolutely loved it and cherished that we then get a beautiful 8x10 picture of them with Osceola and Renegade and the Dean. We have it framed and matted, and we'll either make a presentation to give it to them, or we'll let somebody like President Barron give them that particular gift. So we do some things like that that are really fun and a unique way of showing our gratitude.
All right. Thank you very much. And this concludes our interview.